the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking beers
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake's
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Gentle people.
Ladies and germs.
Yeah. You know, I actually surprisingly don't have the rim shot on
What the fuck?
my soundboard. I know. I need to add that. You're right. You know what that makes me? Beta.
Yeah, pretty much. Fucking loser.
Wow. Fucking going for the
loser.
going for the throat.
So,
We were talking about the show. Yeah, we were getting ready to do the show, and I was showing him the new addition to the soundboard,
which you
But
just
then
heard.
we were playing around, and I noticed, I was like, why does he find this one so funny? What? And he said it's the music.
It's always the music because it's like I want to hear
And
the
this
rest
one's
of it.
even worse because this has
Lasers
and shit.
Yeah.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
The music in that one is like doom 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 doom.
But if you,
But all you can hear is
I'm sure I could have probably found a little bit more cleaner cut, but honestly, that is
not your fault.
that was the cartoon, and you realize when you go back and you look for drops in these things, if you're a nerdy guy like me,
hello,
and you have a podcast or you worked in radio, so you know how to get silly drops. I'm always looking at those, but the problem is the audio is so shit. Like, they did not know how to mix those, and I don't think they probably had the technology to properly mix it.
So my, I have the weekly fantasy football show on live radio in Des Moines, and I try to do promos every week. And a lot of the times I'll try to find funny stuff. Now, I'm biased, so most of what I say is funny to me. But I got to find the other two guys, too. And sometimes we're coming back from a break with music playing, and one of them says something really funny. But there's bump music playing in the background, and it doesn't go with the music underneath the promo. So it's like, God damn it. It's really irritating.
Yeah.
So I know of what you speak. Sometimes you just have to take.
But I'm just thinking, like, I honestly think they probably just didn't have the technology to properly sound mix it. I think really that's the big issue because it's
This week's
either like
What a fucking
wrong one.
nightmare.
So it's like this one where it's
What?
subtle, and then there's this one.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
It doesn't feel like he's in the scene.
Well, yeah. The thing is,
Only audio nerds like me would
this
pick up on that.
the theme this week is twofold. It's Thanksgiving and mental health.
Wow.
And since we're coming up on a holiday that a lot of people celebrate for various reasons, and sometimes, in a lot of cases, unfortunately, a lot of people don't get to spend time with their families during this holiday because Christmas, I would say, or the winter holiday, religious holiday, whichever one you celebrate, is probably the one.
Just say
Christmas.
holiday. It's fine or what? It's
Whatever.
not a big deal.
Anyway, that's probably the one that more people try to get home for than anything, like from school and whatnot. I think more kids have to, kind of stay in their dorms that week or whatever. And I grew up in a college town in Iowa City, and my mom worked at a place called Land's End. It was this clothing outlet right across from campus. And I actually worked there for a couple years later when I got old enough. But we worked with a lot of college girls, so it was awesome. And it was awesome for me, dude. I was like 16, like, oh. Anyway.
But intimidating because you're like, there's so much more.
Oh, dude, check this out.
Even though most of them are probably like a few years older than me.
She had one time they went out of town, and because my brother had a party or earlier when something, they were never gonna let me be home alone. So she had one of the girls come over and stay at the house because I slept downstairs. So she stayed at the house while they were gone, my parents, and she brought like 3 of her friends over, and they got like drunk upstairs while I was downstairs, and I'm just like, would it be appropriate to whack off to that sound? Just kidding. That's fucked up.
No, when you're
just
16, you jack off to everything.
Yeah, but I mean, it was exciting because it was just like, there's all these girls, And anyway, the point is that every year, every year when she started working there, it was a part-time job for about 4 years, junior high and then high school. And then I started working there too. But she always extended an invitation to every person that worked with her. regardless of why they were in town. Like, if you can't make it home for Thanksgiving, like, please come to our house and we'd love to have you. So for like 6 years in my house, we'd have like 5 or 6 extra people over, and some of them were like exchange students from like different places. So it was a really cool way to like be introduced to different cultures and stuff. And I love my mom for being that kind of host. Like, hey,
This got way off track. I don't even know.
but we're talking about Thanksgiving. Sometimes
I know,
no.
but that was such a hard segue.
Well, no, Thanksgiving. Well, look, we're talking about technology, and we're talking about sound drops.
I was still
we're
trying
talking
to
about sound
I was
drops.
still trying to roast these cartoons. people.
Sure, we're talking about the sound
Fuck 'em.
drops,
No, I'm
and
just
the thing
kidding.
that makes sound drops tough for people like me and Jake is we both suffer from mental health disorders, and not stuff that like locks us up, but like stuff that everybody does. Depression and anxiety, and sometimes I'm a little bit manic depressive myself. I can have really high highs and really low lows, but the thing that prevents us from getting like really good, being satisfied with these drops is the fact that we want them to be better, and it's tough to.
You really went on a walk for that one.
Well, I mean it that's part of what we are kind of talking about this week.
I suppose, yeah. It's been well, the idea behind this episode. I also wanted to talk about how much I hate. I used
You're
to.
like, you know what? Fuck you. This is what the show's about.
Well, I was just gonna say I used to love Thanksgiving, and now I don't really care about it anymore. And I do think that is because of my relationship with my family, and I think, and I feel like like a lot of Americans out there, because only we really celebrate this holiday. Like a lot of Americans out there, the last few years have been dreading Thanksgiving, and now I'm kind of at the point where I don't really care if I do Thanksgiving ever again, because it's just I'm so upset with how much Facebook has radicalized my family.
Yeah.
But then I also think, have they always been like this?
Yeah. Well,
Because my family's always been right leaning, conservative.
I try to put
But
myself.
I think I could see firsthand in my own family, like how far down the fucking QAnon rabbit hole that party has gone. And I know we don't really talk about politics on this show. I'm just using this to relate to.
But
I think
that can be also a reason why people don't go home for Thanksgiving too.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that a lot of people are not going home for Thanksgiving or enjoying these holidays because so many people, and they've
tweet
seen,
at us and tell us if you don't go home for Thanksgiving because your family's a bunch of assholes.
What I'm trying to say is that they make it their whole personality.
Yeah.
Like look, I fucking hate Trump. I think he introduced fascism light to our country, and it's gonna get worse.
Yep.
But if you voted for Trump, I don't hate you. I don't believe in that. But if you make it your whole identity that Trump didn't lose the election,
We wish you would stop drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's what I'm saying. When you make it your identity, it's a cult.
Yeah.
There's people out there that have this
You
this
allow
worship. Have this worship of this man, and it's getting to a level where they're not accepting reality. And he's constantly gaslighting you. Constantly. And when you make it your whole personality, I don't want to be around you because then I have nothing to talk about. Because anytime we get into these conversations, you're not going to listen to me. You've made up your mind. It's not for everybody. You can pull somebody out of it.
Yeah.
But I know that it's not going to happen for me. So I just don't want to be around it.
Like what it's the superseding of your own intellectual reasoning because of what a public figure said. And I've never, no matter what, I am fairly left-leaning, but I've never heard a public figure say something and go, no matter what I feel or know, that person is completely right, and everything that I feel or know was completely wrong. That's not politics anymore. That's a cult. Sorry. But that's a reason why some people don't go home for Thanksgiving too. But one of the things, there's not a lot of Thanksgiving movies. You notice that? Like, not a lot at all. There's, I will say this: one of my favorite Thanksgiving movies of all time, because it's got a lot of heart and it's fucking hilarious. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You ever seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was always thinking that they should do like a Thanksgiving, like a National Lampoon's Thanksgiving movie. Do you know of any other Thanksgiving specials? There's a Thanksgiving Charlie Brown special.
Yeah, I can't think of any
There's not a lot of them.
memorable things off the top of my head.
It's almost like people like go from Halloween, as far as people making media, they go from Halloween, which is all horror movies, to like Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And there's like no reason to make, like nobody's like,
That's
let's
why the
make a
movie,
Thanksgiving movie.
That's what inspired Tim Burton to
Nightmare Before Christmas.
yeah, for this was the juxtaposition of Halloween and Christmas. And it's always been like that. But it had, I don't know.
And how many people do you know who have made that movie their whole personality? I know a few
I could be wrong.
throughout my life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Look at the tattoo I got of Jack Skellington.
You shouldn't make one thing
Why?
your entire personality.
I think it's a great movie, but
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's an okay movie.
it's not to the level where I'll get a tattoo. But that's just me.
I
Personal
understand. I
opinion.
understand the cultural impact of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not like
But
gonna,
I'm not someone that-
I'm not gonna not go to Thanksgiving because my cousin has a Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo. Like, I'm just not gonna get into a fucking discussion.
That's the fucking line.
You know, you're a fucking cult member, dude. You're a fucking cult member with that fucking, you know.
Yeah, and how do you politely tell someone that you think they're in a cult too? So you have to look at it from my perspective.
Look.
I don't look.
It's an okay movie. It's not worthy of a cult, okay? And they're, no, it's so funny. It's funny and it's goth. And you're like, oh, God.
Skellington did nothing wrong.
Oh, fuck.
Skellington did nothing.
And then it's like, I don't want to go to Thanksgiving anymore because those people are there, you know?
All these fucking Skellington
Fucking
fans.
skeleton heads.
Jack Skellington's a bunch of these guys.
You know what's really funny? I don't know the movie well enough to know any other characters' names.
Like I know Boogie Woogie
Okay.
because he has a really cool musical number.
Mm-hmm.
He's that musical number is probably my favorite of that.
Mm-hmm.
And when do you? Well, that's the great debate too. Is this is the Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie?
I'd say it's a Christmas movie. I believe it was released during Christmas time. And
I'm sorry, but the movie starts in Halloween.
do you know
Halloween, whatever the fuck?
Do you know the whole debate? Okay, speaking of debates over movies and holidays.
Oh shit, we're having a Thanksgiving debate right now.
Die Hard, because we're close to the holidays.
Die Hard, yes, absolutely.
has often long been debated whether it's an action movie or a Christmas movie.
It's both. It's a
Okay,
Christmas movie.
okay. You know what Bruce Willis said?
What?
It's a fucking Bruce Willis movie.
Oh, fuck Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Fuck Bruce Willis. Just kidding. I don't know the guy personally, but I've heard bad things.
He used to tend bar at the yacht club in Iowa City before I was allowed to drink, or before I was 21, and it sucked because his friend owned the bar. Because I don't know how, but he would tend bar every so often. He'd be like, "Yeah, Bruce Willis was in town last night," and this was more when he was like starting to become a big action star. Like I think he was still doing moonlighting at the time.
At the time. Yes, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. And if you disagree, he was at a Christmas party. And he writes, ho, 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 on one of the henchmen in blood.
It's Christmas, Theo.
It's a classic movie. I
love.
Technically, Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie. Because I'm pretty sure that
it
happens
is. Yeah,
on
it
Christmas.
does. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it gets away from the Christmas theme. It gets into summer for the first time for Die Harder, or what? Die Hard 3
Die Hard 3. Well, it's get this. It's Die Hard,
with a Vengeance.
Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, A Good Day to Die Hard.
Can we can stop those, right?
I like that title. A Good Day to Die Hard is a good one. Too long.
Look, here's the thing.
Also, did you know that A Good Day to Die Hard, the fifth film, is the first one that actually was a screenplay that was originally written to be a Die Hard movie?
Yes,
Every Die Hard movie
do
before
know
that
was written
had
off a book.
been some
Yeah.
other script. Well, the first one was the book, but then the second one was a different script. and the third one was a different script,
Yep.
and the fourth one was a different script.
Yep.
So they were all a draft of some other thing.
Did you know that Sylvester Stallone was originally tapped to be Axel Foley? And he said, okay, and he rewrote the entire script to be an action movie. And they said, fuck you, and they got Eddie Murphy.
I can't do that. I used to do it. I can't do that laugh.
Listen.
Why did he stop doing the laugh? I wonder.
I don't know.
This episode
He
is all over the
matured.
place.
No, this is our.
This episode is going to be a relaxed, chill episode because
We got
as
no
we mentioned
itinerary.
earlier, some of you are probably driving to a Thanksgiving dinner you don't want to go to.
Yeah, so listen to us talk about
We're
stupid
gonna mellow you out.
shit. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we got into the hard shit of Thanksgiving early. Now it's all fun. Speaking of talking about silly shit, stupid shit, I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife
Yeah,
last night.
interesting.
Saturday, because this will be posted on Monday.
Ah.
Oh, which reminds me, we're double posting on Monday, baby. That's right. We're posting this episode first, and then a few hours later during the day on Monday, I will release the full Ghostbusters review, full spoilers. So
It's like double fisting, but nobody's gonna end up in jail.
yeah.
Been there.
Any Hoosiers. So yeah, I'll try and see if Ashley will do it with me because she can share her thoughts on our.
I want to see it, but I don't know if I'm gonna take long enough. But yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
so mostly what I'll be talking about here with Ghostbusters is I'm going to be extremely vague and spoiler free because A, Tyler hasn't seen it,
yeah, you fuck.
and B, I don't want to spoil this for anybody because it seems like, and honestly, the theater we were in was pretty packed. This franchise means a lot to a lot of people, so I don't want to spoil
At
it.
Flicks, they had a bunch of Ghostbusters looking dudes outside.
Nice. So anyway, I was trying not to say any Hoosiers there. So I don't want to get sued.
Failed.
Indiana could sue me.
Gene Hackman's gonna sue you.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he just doesn't act. He's actually
gotta be like
very
100 at
successful.
this
No,
point.
he's a very successful writer, actually.
Sounds like he's a hack, man. But oh.
I got it. Took me a second.
Anyway, I saw.
like, what do you mean?
Ashley and I, the missus and I, the love of my life, the mother of my child,
Date night.
my lovely Ashley. Every time I introduce her, it's gonna get more ridiculous. Her and I went to see it Saturday night at 7:15. So after I watched Nebraska lose another game and I
Aw.
cried.
Did Iowa State win?
No, they lost.
Bad.
No.
Okay.
Point is,
It's not a fucking college football show.
I mean, I wish. I'd love to talk about that, but
hate
anyway.
college football.
All right. Well, I hate you.
Wow.
So how about How about that?
Wow. Things are
Suck on-
getting heated in the bunker.
Suck on those.
Are we still in a
apples.
bunker?
No, we're in the Man Cave Studios.
Gotcha.
Totally different.
Sweet. So tell us about the
Although this one is more of like a bunker.
750, right? It's got a back entrance or back exit. 715.
Yeah, so we go to the Palms, the local theater in Waukee, and we went and got our popcorn, all that, and everything. Also, I am that guy that I don't care that it's $14, but I will buy a large pop and a popcorn or a large soda. Whatever.
When I go to the theater, I expect to spend $50 because the tickets, and I'm talking about going with somebody. The tickets are usually about $20 for the pair, and then you're gonna spend
Which,
about
by the way-
$30 on the food shit.
By the way, it's much cheaper here than going to see the movie anywhere else. Like if you want to see a movie in LA or New York, dude, it's fucking super expensive.
Oh
to see
yeah,
a movie.
yeah. If you're bitching about like $9-10, man, just be thankful. It's like $18 on the coasts now or something.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, like for one person. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you expect that though, because I mean, honestly, like, part of it's COVID, and I'm interjecting because I know you're talking about going to theaters after the COVID thing, and it's more of it always was a special thing for me anyway.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain movies that after around 2012, 13 that I was gonna see in the theater when they came out, and those were the MCU movies, right?
Uh-huh.
And I sometimes will go to other movies, of course. But it's an experience. You want to experience. I want to get my large cherry Coke. I always get a cherry Coke. And then I get a big ass fucking thing of popcorn. And you take a straw, okay, at the Jordan Creek one. And they have the butter thing where you can put more butter on. You take a straw and you put it in there so you get the butter all the way at the bottom. So throughout the whole fucking thing, you got butter, man.
Nice.
And it's fucking... I mean, it fucking tears...
That's a life hack
It
right there.
fucking tears my guts up like nothing else. But, man... popcorn and fucking cherry Coke, dude, at a theater, man, and just mowing fucking popcorn and watching a good ass movie. So that's just my little 2 cents on it. I know that I'm gonna spend money because I want it to be an experience.
Right.
I want it. If I don't have the money for it, I'm not gonna go do it. I'll stay at home.
Yeah, and I think COVID is also kind of put in perspective of like movies that I really want to see. I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I'm still kind of disappointed I didn't get to see Dune in the theater, but that's kind of my own fault. So, and honestly, I saw it twice on a 32-inch screen. I think.
I'm absolutely gonna see Spider-Man in IMAX.
Oh,
I'm gonna
fuck
do
yeah.
everything I can to watch that in an IMAX theater.
That theater. I mean, that trailer. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well. So
At some point.
yeah, we got our popcorn, got our seats. Also,
Was it a place that had a sign? Where'd you go to?
Yeah, it was the Palms.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay.
And there were recliners.
Was it an IMAX then?
No.
Okay.
That was not the IMAX screen.
Alright.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I didn't really need to see it in IMAX. Like, I kind of wish I would have saw Dune in IMAX, but it is what it is.
Me too. Yeah.
It is what it is.
There's we did a lot of promotions for the Palms over at iHeart when it first opened. It's a pretty nice theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep telling us about your theater experience. You went and got your seats.
How was your time?
We were talking about your theater experience. You wanted to talk about.
Well, no, because it was interesting. So
Okay.
I get
Yeah.
there, and first of all,
Yeah.
there's this family, a mom, and I want to say 2 daughters. I could be wrong. But they were sitting a couple seats away from us, and they were this. Look, I don't want to ever say that people shouldn't enjoy their time at the movies. That's the whole point of going to the movies. But this woman, she kept, and she was probably 15 or 16, but she kept fucking doing little golf claps at things that she liked in the movie, and it was always it was a sound of ooh, and then like that, which is fine. It's not loud, but it's loud enough for me to hear it. And I don't want to sound like a fucking curmudgeon and a guy that again, because I'm glad that she had a good time in the movies. I'm actually glad that she had
I'm
fun.
trying to figure out if I've done that, and I'm sure there's moments in MCU movies
look,
when I've done ooh.
Look. There's definitely times when
I might be doing that.
I'm almost always going to the movie with Ashley. So
That was me.
There's obviously times that I'm talking, and I
It's
I'm
better
not,
to go to
I'm
the
not
movies.
loud or anything.
It's
But
better,
what I'm saying
Go ahead.
is, I know that I'm not like this fucking librarian at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I understand that I
Oh,
sometimes
dude, I
could be a
chew
distraction.
fucking so
Oh.
loud, dude.
And Ashley always talks about how loud I eat popcorn. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
well,
God.
I fucking love it.
It's fucking delicious,
And
and I don't get it at home.
I mean, I do, but it's not the same.
It's not the fucking
It's
grease.
the oil.
Yeah,
It's
I
all-
need that disgusting oil that's clogging my arteries.
And it fucking stinks. Like, have
Oh,
you
it's
ever,
so good. Yeah, but it's yeah.
no, but have you been in it? Because I could definitely smell old popcorn when I was in the theater. And I was like, ugh, this shit smells good. But you know what? It's delicious. So anyway, yeah. So we have that family, which is fine, whatever. Again, I don't want to say it did not. It did not impede my ability to enjoy the movie. And honestly, there was times where she was audibly doing things, reacting to things, where she would gasp or go oh like that, and it was fine because it did add to the movie. Because in my head I'm laughing because I know, like, especially if I go to like a WWE event or a wrestling event, I boo the bad guys, I cheer the good guy, I do what they want me to do because it's fun.
Yeah.
So again, that part was fine. It was just a little golf claps that got to me because I hate it when people clap in a movie theater. I just do because it's like we're not at the theater. They don't fucking come out on stage and
they're
take
not
a bow
gonna pause
for you to applaud.
Oh, there's so many times, especially MCU movies.
But that's a little different.
Yeah. Well, just real quick, there's so many times where like something will happen and people go like, yeah, and I don't hear the next line, and I have to wait to get the DVD or the Blu-ray or whatever to put the subtitles on and figure out what the fuck he said. And it's never anything important, but it's like,
but see, Marvel's good about that because Marvel knows that most people see these in theaters, so they
put in
put
pauses.
in cues to like when fucking Cap catches Mjolnir. There, if you watch it on Disney Plus, the music drops out real low. Like the whole thing kind of stops for you to be like, "Holy fuck!" and then it brings you back into the movie.
Yeah. It gives the audience time to say, "Holy fuck!" They expected us to say it, and we did.
Right, and you know what, dude? I look. I will never forget it. It was one of the greatest experiences in a movie theater.
So fucking
when
great.
Cap does catch the Mjolnir, the whole place fucking exploded.
Erupted.
And you know what, man? That's fucking rad. So I'm not saying having fun at a movie.
That's a really cool thing, like to experience that.
And I want to be clear. I'm glad
with a
that
shitload of people you don't even know and probably will never know.
And I want to be clear. It's not the people's fault that we're enjoying themselves.
But yeah.
The people that were at this movie enjoying themselves, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's my own neuroses. It's really me. I'm just being a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
But so that was fun. Whatever, that was happening.
Yeah.
And the movie had started, right? Mm-hmm. And there were some people that just got in, and this was like right at the beginning of the movie, so much hadn't happened. But they're coming in, trying to find their seats in the dark while the movie's playing. So they're trying to have this conversation. At one point, it's like a son and a mom and maybe an aunt and a dad. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of confusion with the seats. Now, granted, I didn't hear all of this because I was still trying to watch the movie, but the dad completely just leaves the group for a second to go to the exit, and then the son's like, I gotta go get dad. And again, this is all happening while the movie's playing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm just sitting there, and Ashley and I both are like watching the movie, but also like, will you people just fucking sit down? Like, just sit down.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as this is happening, this is the first time with COVID and everything where I've actually been like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about movie theater. And honestly,
see, and that's why I like Flix, because they won't let people in after a certain point.
I love that policy because it's frustrating. It's like when people don't.
I'm sorry if you're late. I'm sorry, but it sucks for everybody else that you're late.
It's like when people don't respect the fucking puck and play rule when you're watching a hockey game. It's like when the puck's on the ice, you fucking wait. You know, that's just courtesy.
Yeah.
I feel the same. Look, if you show up late to a movie, I'm sorry, you're fucking late, man. I don't know. I agree with Flix. I think there should be some sort of requirement.
And what was really funny is, interestingly enough, when I saw Eternals yesterday, with my brother turned 50, by the way. Happy birthday, Carter. And he's the guy who's done all the artwork for my albums and stuff, and a really swell guy. And my mom and I drove over there together in the same car, and I just asked her questions about what Carter was like when he was a baby, because I was really curious, and I'll tell you about that later. But
yeah, that's for off the air.
Well, it's just like funny stories from how he started drawing all that. Anyway, so we're there, and we go to the movie, and I go and I leave the theater to go get some stuff from the car. Right? Yeah, we rented out the theater. And it was, just basically, it was a smaller theater. I think maybe a 30-person theater, and there was probably 20 of us there. So it was cozy, but we knew everybody. So, it was kind of nice.
Yeah, I wanted to do something like that for like Christmas or like for Spider-Man.
When I turn 50, I'll do it for you. I don't know what's coming out then, or if I'll still be here.
Well, I wanted to do that too for my birthday, but I don't know what's coming out.
Right.
And because maybe there's a superhero movie I want to see. I kind
of was hoping, and Yeah, and
But anyway.
he hadn't seen it. Anyway, he hadn't seen it before, which is kind of interesting because usually he'll see those right away. Anyway, I go and leave the theater and go get something from the car, and then I run into Target to check something, and I come back out basically.
Because this isn't a mall.
Yeah, and I go into Target, and I come back out. We're at Flicks, obviously.
Yeah.
And I go, and I walk out, and I hear these two voices yelling. And I'm like, what's going on? And there's these two sketchy-looking dudes kind of walking in front of me. You know what I'm talking about, that walk from Target to the Flicks entrance?
Yeah.
And there's these two sketchy-looking dudes, and they're looking over to their side, and they're like, kind of like laughing. And I look, and that big dumpster back there, there's these two really big, fat, nerdy guys, like, chasing each other.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like... So I start, I still walk, and these guys are ahead of me, and I look over to my right, and... I'm not sure why, but there's a lady with her son who's probably like 8 or 9 years old, and the kid is doing the worm.
At the movie theater?
No, on the fucking pavement.
Oh, why?
I know.
What?
And I'm like, what is going... I see this, and I look at the guys in front of me, and they're all sketchy. And I'm just like, are you,
Yeah.
are you seeing this? Whatever. And
It almost feels like you're not in reality.
right,
You're
it
like,
totally
what the
did. I was
fuck?
like,
You
did I
just walked
fucking
into-
step out in,
You're at a
and
TV
I'm walking,
show?
yeah, and I'm walking towards them, and they kind of look at me, and they're like, yeah, it is fucking weird. You gonna smoke?
He just- He asked you for a smoke.
Yeah, and then I realized I'm like, these are just two like homeless dudes walking in the parking lot looking for like shit. And I wish everybody had housing. I'm not making fun of somebody who's homeless,
No.
but usually they are really strange and they are eccentric, and they were definitely wearing some funky clothes.
Yeah.
But all of that just was really like, this is bizarre, and I want to get it back into the movie theater.
You don't want to be hobophobic.
No.
Come on.
Hobophobic.
That's got to be a thing.
You know what? The Hobo Sapiens. That's going to be a comic book.
The Hobo Sapiens? Was it post-apocalyptic?
I'm not talking about it right now because somebody will steal it. Copyrighted.
TM.
TM Homo Sapiens.
Rights reserved.
Brr. The C with the circle around
That's
it.
copyright.
The little TM in the corner.
All the logos.
What all that shit means. Yeah.
Anyway, back to what the fuck. So my theater experience.
Sometimes it's a D in a circle.
Did you ever find out why the two guys were chasing each other?
No, it was.
Do you know any of the context?
No, the guys. I mean, clearly at one point, they were kind of. You could tell it wasn't a serious. One guy wasn't going to beat the other guy up. They were probably having fun at the.
No, but I
either
wanna know
before or
why.
after the movie. I have no idea, but they were clearly having fun with each other and
Yeah.
just being really loud and happened to be doing it out in public and embarrassing the shit out of themselves because.
So, and then you got to the theater?
Yeah, then I got to the theater, and the movie was fine, and we had appetizers, and I had a big-ass thing of popcorn, and I had a water, and a cherry Pepsi, and a fucking double pepperoni pizza, bro. Oh, I had it all going on. I was like, nom, 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 nom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an ad.
And then my cousin was like, shut the fuck up.
why are you doing this in the middle of the movie?
So-
The whole fucking movie. I would be furious.
So, right? So, I didn't actually do that, but
No, that would have been
right, I
hilarious.
know, right?
Shut the fuck up, Tyler!
God damn it. So, one thing I was going to say about a theater going experience with your significant other, that's much better than going with, say, a friend. Like, for instance,
You
when
can
we
make out
we
during
went
the movie. Obviously.
you can make out with a friend. So,
Tyler, I'm sorry we
when
didn't
you
make
and
out
I,
when we saw them.
when you and I went to Venom, there'd be carnage, right?
Yeah.
There were a couple times we leaned in to say something to each other, but there's like a buffer, when you have your significant other, you can get
you're
right
right.
up in that.
You're right
shit.
in someone's
You
ear.
can get right up on that and start Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I did that thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
You don't care if your breath stinks because your fucking significant other knows your breath stinks. All that shit. So there were a couple times when I would talk to my cousin before the movie started. I was making the joke like, "Yeah, why don't you make me cry with some more previews, you bastards?" But I knew that there was okay, you can't go past this. Because I'm not. Does that make sense or whatever? So I do like going with a significant other to the theater better because it's more like if something's going on, instead of doing like the golf clap like I might be prone to do, I can, squeeze
Well-
somebody's arm and lean in and go like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah. And I always know when Ashley is scared of something, or if it's gonna be emotional, because she'll squeeze my hand or my leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's always makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing, but
anyway, so that whole ordeal gets sorted out with
Yeah.
the people not knowing
They
where
ended
their
up
seats
sitting
are.
down.
Yeah, they finally got it sorted
Sorry,
out.
we went on a little
And
walk.
then the movie continues.
We're back.
The movie's going, and we're watching it, and then so we get to a part early on in the movie. And I'm like, God, I feel like this is a bad omen because at this point, so they go into the house, they walk in, and then it freezes.
Oh.
And I'm like, fuck. I mean, we're all, and then the crowd, actually the theater took it pretty well, like the group that we were with, because we all kind of laughed at it, because I was like, potty break. And that's what I said to Ashley. And I was like, because then it also kind of pulled me out for a second, because I don't know if you feel this way, but I am so used to streaming movies now and watching these newer movies streaming. I legit took it out for a second. It was like, oh, yeah, I'm in a movie theater. Because it honestly felt like a second where it was like, I paused it myself. It was a weird thing to think about, but it made me realize, like, oh, yeah, I forgot this is what a theater experience is like, when it kind of stops and we're all like, what the fuck?
You know what movie really fucks me up?
Honestly, after they fixed that, there was no other problems, and the movie was just fine. But, like, man, that also says how good Ghostbusters was, that I still enjoyed myself after that really rough start with the fucking people not being able to find their seats.
Yeah.
And the movie stopping, the production stopping.
Yeah.
Fuck it. This episode is theater experiences. It's Thanksgiving.
We're talking about what the fuck we want to talk about.
It's a relaxed episode.
It's the Thanksgiving buffet special. It's a
You know what we're gonna call it? The Thanksgiving road trip.
potluck. It's the potluck. Everybody's bringing something to the table.
I was gonna say it's the Thanksgiving road trip companion.
Fuck yeah. Down in Lake Wobegon, some days we let the sun go down. Some days we drink a bottle of wine.
What are you talking about?
Lake Wobegon days. Prairie Home Companion.
But this I want to talk about this. Yeah.
We're making a parody of a title.
Anyway, here's what I thought by the movie itself. I loved it. I actually came in with a little bit lower expect. Like the first trailer didn't really hook me. But the more
gradually,
the next trailer kind of got me, won me over.
Of what the story is,
and I'm glad I saw it. Like I really,
I do want to see it. I'll probably have to wait till it comes out.
I'm glad that they finally made a very, very solid third movie. It doesn't really. It's kind of weird because it is a sequel, but it never really mentions Ghostbusters 2.
Really,
the main plot is more tied to the first movie.
Well, that's fine,
which makes sense. But it doesn't. But it isn't a thing where like it's like Halloween, where like they negate all the other.
Yeah,
movies.
no, they just don't talk about it.
They just don't really mention it. So maybe because this movie's gonna make so much fucking money, they're definitely gonna make a sequel. And when they do, maybe they'll incorporate the slime shit and the.
Look, I mean,
because whatever happened to the baby?
The more I see,
nobody ever talks about the baby.
The more I see 2, the more I realize that like 2 is not like a terrible movie.
It's not bad. It's not
at the time when I was young and it first came out. I mean, it was fucking bad because we
I
were
like it more than
all expecting
than most people.
Oh, I think it's achieved more of a cult status because it's not that bad of a movie. It's just when it came out, the expectations were set up against the original. And come on, you're not going to top that.
You know how much it costs?
$1
million, bitch.
Oh, it got disconnected.
Oh, fuck. We'll fucking connect that shit.
Yeah, the thingy got disconnected. Anyway,
So,
the movie itself, I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's a very... Yeah, my soundboard connected, everybody. So now we can hear it.
$1 million, bitch.
That's what you missed out on. The moment's dead. I enjoyed it, but I want to go off of this. Take a jumping off point here with the rough start to the movie. I want to talk about some of your worst movie theater experiences, because funny enough, Ashley was also a part of one of my worst theater experiences with Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So we saw it Thursday night, opening night. We couldn't get into it was so fucking hard to get tickets for that movie. We got it in a theater that so we had one of those like reclining theaters. I think it was like an AMC theater.
Mm.
Yeah, because AMC has the red recliners, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it was an AMC theater.
Mm.
So we go in and see it, and the movie starts, and when the scroll happens, everybody's building it up, and then the sequence where who's the old dude at the beginning of Force Awakens? He was in the prequel.
Lorsan Tekka.
Yeah, the guy that gets fucking murked in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he starts to talk, and Ashley and I kind of noticed it right away, and I imagine most people did in the theater.
You have to run.
That he the audio wasn't syncing to the video, and then it fucking stopped.
Oh, so you're talking about purely in terms of how the movie like performed on the screen?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it, like the environment itself, not the movie, but I'm just saying like a shitty theater experience.
The shitty theater
but
experience could mean bad food, could mean
I haven't
people
even-
yelling. Okay, keep going.
No, I'm saying I haven't even reached the fucking
Yeah,
tip of the iceberg of this story.
Yeah.
So then it fucking freezes, because that's what it reminded me of too with the Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah.
With the freezing.
You're like, not again.
Yeah. Mostly because I'm like, this is a really comfortable recliner and I don't want to leave. So it fucks up.
Yeah.
They try and fix. First of all, we didn't get any trailers. Like it just dropped us right into the Lucasfilm logo.
I think
some theaters did that.
yeah, probably just to maximize how many times they could show it in a fucking day.
Right.
Like-
Because of it's almost 3-hour movie.
Dude, we're making a fucking $1 million every time we show this thing. We're playing that 20 times a day. God damn it, we'll find a theater.
My local theater growing up
Yeah.
only had 3 screens.
Mm.
And I remember when Spider-Man 3 came out,
Mm.
they put it on 2 screens, and I was like, that man's a capitalist.
Dude,
And I
people
don't
want
blame him. I
something,
would have done the same thing.
at least for a week. You know?
Yeah. It's actually, I think, and when that movie came out, it made so much fucking money. Any Hoosiers, back to my theater experience with Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Again, this is opening night, man. So we're fucking rabid for this movie. We want to see this fucking thing. So then it gets so it gets fixed and it's happening, but then the audio's fucked up again, and now it sounds like it's like the action's happening, but this is how it sounds when they talk. It's like really fucking far away. Like it sounds like they're almost like they're trying to talk underwater.
Yeah.
It's kind of that, and so the audio's all fucked.
Yeah.
So then they stop again. It freezes again, and they stop it. And at this point, the crowd we're fucking livid because
Yeah.
we're like, what the hell? Because we spent, good money on this
And
shit.
I mean, you're fucking up this
We
once in a lifetime thing that's
Right.
happening. You fucking. Do you know how much Star Wars means to us? You fuck.
So now you understand.
Yeah, basically.
So now you
I
understand.
totally get it, dude.
Now you understand the level of fury that's
Oh,
happening
yeah.
in this movie.
Dude, you're just like I named my kid Chewbacca, motherfucker. You're just like, you're just.
Jesus.
Well, you know what I mean. Like people. are
No,
just
most
like,
people just said Luke or Han. He went straight to fucking Chewie.
he's a hairy fucking kid. All right, very hirsute.
You see my back. It's like a fucking Chewbacca.
I'm pretty sure my wife cheated with a Greek guy. Anyway.
Wow.
Whoa.
So that guy was dealing with some shit, and the movie was fucked up. So he was really pissed.
God damn it! I brought my lightsaber.
So then here's how it gets even worse, right?
Yeah.
They just say fuck it and hard reset and start the movie over,
Okay, fair.
right?
Yeah.
And it fucking fucks up again.
Ah.
And now we're furious. So then somebody comes, like one of the managers comes in, which is like, God bless her soul. I think it was a
Right.
woman. I
She's
can't
like
remember.
about ready to get torn to fucking
I
pieces.
think it was a woman. I can't remember. Anyway, the manager comes in, and they're like, "Hey, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We're
basically.
sorry. This is a bunch of shit. We're gonna move you into we have an open screen. We're gonna move you in this other theater, which sucked because it was fucking stadium seating when we had recliners. I'll get to that. And she's like, we're really sorry, but we did get 2 free movie passes out of it, so that was cool. But she's like, we have 2 free movie passes. I think she said something about if they wanted to come back and watch that movie. I don't know, like they weren't going to charge us if we came back to see it, whatever. So they moved us to the other screen, sit down at stadium seating. I'm like, fuck this. I was so mad. And then the best part of it, the movie starts. We all start going like this when it starts after the scroll with no audio sync issues, nothing. Everyone's like, woo, the movie's actually working.
Yeah,
We were like so fucking excited.
Yeah.
And then we saw the movie. And
That's good.
But that was definitely one of the most frustrating fucking theater experiences.
I have yet. I get really lucky with two things, and that is, and knock on wood, but theater experiences.
Now the next time you go, it's gonna fuck
theater
up.
experiences and plane travel. I rarely have like late flights and shit. Like I'm almost always on time. My layovers are all, you know what I mean? Like I never get the whole delay type of stuff usually. And then when it comes to movie theaters, I don't know if it's because I generally for the last 10 years or more, I go to matinees if I can during the week. If I can't on the weekend, but I try to go earlier. I know the popcorn's from the night before crack.com. I know that. I don't fucking care.
It's still good.
Yeah, they fucking heat it up and put a shitload of butter on it. Still good. It's good. Sorry.
I shouldn't go to the movies as much as I do. It's so bad for me.
But anyway,
I always
it's terrible.
I destroy a fucking large
Yeah.
popcorn. I'll eat the whole thing.
And you don't shit right for a day, man.
And every time I burp, it tastes like popcorn.
Oh, so good.
Anyway,
but maybe that's why I generally I don't know if just I'm the only person who does it or if there's the showings that I'm going to on the certain day, but I rarely have more than like 10 other people in the theater with me and whoever I'm with. You remember Venom Let There Be Carnage? That was kind of full, but not that.
that's a pretty good amount for a...
what was it, 10 a.m., 9 a.m.?
It was 10
Yeah.
a.m. Yeah, for a 10 a.m. showing, it was pretty decent.
Yeah, but I mean, that was also opening weekend, too.
It's also, I think a lot of people have the same idea. I like going on Sundays, but the last two movies I've seen have been Saturday nights. So maybe not as busy as...
Last night was the first Saturday night that I've been to in a long-ass time, and again, it was a rented out theater and stuff, so...
Yeah. I do want to do... What was that like, just having a whole theater with...
It was just, I mean, we had one... So it's Flicks, and if you've been to Flicks, you know the whole drill with
It's one of those...
the food in a bar.
Sitting, you can order. Yeah, they're more common nowadays. Yeah, it's pretty much you can order food, you can order drinks, and they'll bring them to you. Just write it down, they'll bring it to you.
It's basically set up. Yeah, so there's tables in front of each chair.
It's a dinner and a movie. It's set up so you can have dinner.
You got a little button, you press it. You got a little pad with a pen, and you can do it during the movie, and it's set up so even like the waitresses moving through and doing stuff like
will
it doesn't
never be in the way of the
Not
screen,
really.
yeah.
No, I've never really had that issue, and. So we set
it's
up
like an Alamo Draft House. That's the chain. That
the only thing is that we had to keep getting managers because like the manager would come and help us like get in, and then like she'd disappear, and then she'd be like, okay, now you guys are good. When you're ready to get your tickets, just come find me. And I'm like, okay. So I would go and find her, and it was hard to find. So I found another one, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, can you ask for that person? So they come back, we get our tickets, and we had brought like cupcakes, and Mom and I set up like we put up a Guess Who's 50 banner, and we had like all sorts of like little trinkets and we had little cupcake toppers, and we had little gift bags, with the little tattoo on it and stuff and everything, and so we sat down, and I originally had my seat in the back seat, and then all these families came in. My brother's friends with a bunch of people who have kids and stuff, and I obviously didn't really count on that or whatever, so they all go up to the back row, and I'm down in the front, like, talking to people and stuff, so I'm like, I'm just going to move down, like, down here, I'm not obviously going to make a big stink about it, whatever. Who the fuck, like, starts yelling at kids for, that was my fucking seat, I don't care if you're 11,
I quack backed.
Fuck you, man.
Bitch. I'll beat the shit out of your dad. I used to. Shit like that.
So I'm sitting next to my cousin, his wife, and then my cousin and her husband, and then my mom is kind of sitting by herself, and I kind of go, I'm like, I go over there, and I'm like, do you, are you okay just sitting here by yourself? Like, do you want me? And she's like, oh, Javi's right here, and I just like watching the movie. I got my popcorn and stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, just let me know. Like, I can come sit next to you, I mean, I don't mind. Because Carter was sitting way up in front, and then his wife was sitting way in back, because all of his buddies from, like, the comic book collective they used to have back in Iowa City are sitting up front, like, the very front row and shit.
So
but
you don't fit in that clique?
No. Well, I wasn't, I mean, I'm I know most of the people.
Well,
and-
they're his friends. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I know most of them,
Yeah.
and they know me, and like, hey Tyler, hey Will, hey John, and stuff,
Yeah.
Brian, and just a bunch of dudes. But
bunch of dudes watching
bunch of
movies
dudes watching
together.
movies and making comic books.
What a beautiful song.
What a beautiful song. But yeah,
No,
it
I'd
was
just
fun.
sing it for you.
It was fun. So Flicks generally does like funny stuff before like Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And Iron Man, all these different properties have hundreds of hours of entertainment, other media
they'll
to
put,
draw
like,
from.
robot chicken skits
Right.
and shit like that. YouTube
Eternals
clips.
has none of that.
Well, yeah.
So this was really interesting. So they had this B-52's video playing that was literally like, it looked like it was taken from like a film strip in like the 50s, but it was like this map of the Middle East, and like all like one side, and then the other side was like different shots of pottery. And like the map kept changing from like Sumeria to Mesopotamia and Babylonia,
Yeah.
And basically the B-52 song was about that stuff. And like that was one thing. Then they had like a quiz thing about the MCU. And then they had Kumail Nanjiani on Jimmy Kimmel. And he was talking about his workout regimen and how he hadn't had like refined sugar in a year. He's like, I've been doing that ever since. Like, it's not like a video game where you press pause and like, I'm always going to be this way now. Like, no, you have to keep working at it and stuff. So Jimmy Kimmel drops his chandelier down in front of his face, and every part of the chandelier has like a dessert on it around him, and he's like crying. He's like, I'm about to cry like this. And the Guillermo, his buddy, Jimmy Kimmel's dude, comes over with a pizza, and he takes a bite, and he's like, I'm shaking. And it's like, no shit, you haven't had refined sugar in a year. Your body's about to go into shock. Okay, so get, But it was crazy because he was like visibly like this and like crying, like he was so happy, but also like, but that was all they had to draw off of, like where else do you draw stuff from? Because
It's
there's
like
no,
you don't really have
nobody's ever
anything.
made an Eternals cartoon.
Yeah.
So
At least with Venom, he was a big character in Marvel, so there's video game clips and
yeah.
shit like that they could pull from. But yeah, Eternals. Yeah, what are you
Stuff.
gonna
Yeah,
do?
Eternals, like nobody's even spoofed the Eternals because it's not why. There's not enough. Spoof something that people know, bitch.
So how was seeing Eternals? You did mention that earlier.
So, yeah,
so you didn't get to see the second post-credits scene.
the first time because I had to take a shit.
Yeah, so you saw it this time. What'd you think?
It was awesome.
Especially when I sent you the text, motherfucking Blade.
Well, yeah, I knew what happened because I looked it up on Wikipedia when I
Yeah.
got home because
Which, by the way, spoilers, I guess.
yeah, oops.
We already did our fucking Eternals
yeah,
review.
you should fucking know. Spoilers abound.
Yeah, but it was still pretty cool seeing it.
It was really cool. I liked how they did the sword. And my mom was like, "Oh, and I was like, Mom, this is a post-credit scene." She's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I'm like, "What's going on?" Shh, like,
I like how your mom talks like Peter Griffin.
because what's going on? No, my mom.
I know, but that's the way you were sounding.
No, I try to think. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh yeah, very nice Minnesotan mom, North Dakotan mom.
She is a great mom. Anyway,
Shout out to what's her name?
Joey Haug. Haug.
Shout out to Joey
Norwegian.
for giving birth to Tyler.
Yeah, and my brother.
co-host and Carter, his brother.
Turned 50. That's
such a weird.
that's crazy. Like that he's half a century old now. Like I'm
Yeah.
about to be too. Anyway, sorry. It was good. and
No, existential. That's
Kind
my
of,
thing.
kind of a long box type of a little
This whole
bit
episode has been.
here. It's
kinda-
been an unlimited long box.
I wanted to segue into this because I know you want to talk about long box.
Mm.
We could do an extended thing of that and just be talking about because we said we wanted to do things we're thankful for
Yeah.
in pop culture.
Mhm.
So if you want to go ahead and just give
This
what you
and
want
this
to talk
goes
about.
right for it because I was talking to Jake earlier about how I'm thankful that the last 3 MCU entries I've been able to watch fairly recently after seeing it for the first time. For example, Black Widow came out on Disney Plus shortly after it was in the theaters.
Shang-Chi just came out.
Shang-Chi just came out, so I just watched that again. And then Eternals I saw basically about 2 weeks apart. And all 3 of these movies, I'm thankful for this because all 3 of these movies deal with relationships, with familial relationships in your, what is a family? it's sometimes not what you think it is. You know, sometimes it's a collection of friends that you have that you've never, you know, you've always been friends with and that you love to death, and you know you'd be there for them no matter what. Sometimes it's your real family, sometimes it's a work family, you know. But the thing is just kind of talking about, you know, different. We during our Eternals review, I think we both thought the same thing afterwards, that we maybe came across as that we didn't like the movie. Like, we as positive as we tried to be, it did come off like we didn't like it. But it's fucking long, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, you know? But here's the thing.
On the flip side of that, Ghostbusters did not feel long.
Neither did Endgame. Miss Zhao. Just
Endgame
letting you
was
know.
a 3-hour
pacing,
movie.
okay?
I don't know, man. There's some parts in Endgame I'm like, okay.
Sure.
A little long.
But
anyway.
The
you
thing,
say that for any movie.
The thing is I this time around, since I knew it was going to happen, obviously some of the scenes make a little more sense moving forward through the movie if you already know how it ends and all the twists and what have you. But the other thing I really enjoyed was I got to enjoy the performances of the actors more, because I was less interested in what was going on because I knew what was happening, and I could concentrate more on that. And I realized, like, you know, when spoiler alert, fuck it, Gilgamesh dies and Thena like just is no, you know, like, dude, that
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Best character of the movie.
But
unfortunately,
it's you can feel that pain and everything. And all three of these movies, I got to see Shang-Chi on Friday night on Disney Plus, which was the second time I'd seen that. And that to me is so beautiful because it's about also, you know, like, it's about relationships. And to me, that's really important in my life. And I'm thankful that I've been able to see these within you know, the first time of seeing them earlier than I normally would, and getting more of that sense of what the movies really are trying to say, and what they're talking about and how much they mean to me, you know, the second time around. So I'm thankful for that, because family means a lot to me, you know, no matter what family you're talking about. So thanks a lot, motherfuckers. No,
whoa. I'm thankful for that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. The new
dude.
one. Oh, boy.
I think we all popped a chub.
So, do you subscribe to the lizard theory?
Which one?
It's a fan theory that I subscribe
You
to.
told me this. Tell us again.
So what it is, in the final shot of the trailer.
And I finally... Okay, so first thing, you told me... I'm sorry.
Tell me to explain it and interrupt me.
Give me a second. You were... Okay, so you told me about it, and I didn't know what you were talking about at first, because when I first saw the trailer on YouTube, I didn't know about I just wasn't paying attention.
Anyway.
So yesterday, when I saw the trailer again, I was specifically looking for that moment. So now I know exactly when he jumps off the...
Yeah, so...
Okay, cool.
So we
Sorry.
saw... Yeah, the trailer also played in front of Ghostbusters last night.
Cool.
So I was sitting there and I was watching it on the bigger screen, and there's two theories. Well, first of all, this is what I love, is it did a great job of being a trailer that showed us just enough.
Oh, yeah.
Showed us just enough to say that yes, Lizard is in it, yes, Sandman's in it, yes, Electro's in it for sure, confirmed. Oh, and Goblin is in it,
And Dr. Ock.
and we're gonna make Dafoe speak in the trailer, so you know that Dafoe is actually in the fucking movie, which is awesome, because all you heard was the cackle, so we didn't know. And then he's like, you know what he said? He got up in his face and he looked at Peter and he said,
Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen.
He didn't really say that, but if he would have, I would have popped.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah, it's pretty good pull, right? Pretty good audio there. It's not like this.
I haven't seen the first Spider-Man in God knows how long. I can't remember the last time I saw it.
look at
Just a long time.
Look at this puppas.
Hey, puppy.
Coop's sleeping next to me. Cooper, the comic book scooper.
I remember when that movie cast Willem Dafoe, and it was just like, holy shit, they got some real talent.
What a perfect. He is Green Goblin. He's the best one. I just love the fact that Sony has just said, you know what,
dude, Dafoe
Marvel was just like, you know what, we
in.
already had the best Doc Ock, we already had the best Goblin, bring him back. But no, it does a great job of showing those things, but not giving us everything. We don't know how this.
I love that Electro's got his fucking costume back.
Oh,
dude.
and the fact that his mask is like electric.
Yeah, cool. real. Fucking fuck you, all you gritty. It should be real.
He looks like an eel.
It should be more like a real life. Fuck your real life, man. I want Thor to wear bright red and bright blue. I don't give a fuck. I want him to wear a helmet with wings on it, motherfucker. Because I'm fucking comic book accuracy. I'll suspend my disbelief.
Yeah. You done?
Yeah.
It's true. We kind of. It is funny because when these movies first started in the early 2000s, it was more of like, don't be the big bright colors and flashy, and now everybody wants comic book accurate costumes, which is kind of amazing.
And the MCU,
Which I'm all for.
The MCU has done a great job
Of adding a new spin on that.
Yeah, or rather, like, I mean, it makes sense within the context of the movies, the costumes. And, you know, like, so that you get to see something like Richard E. Grant's Loki and the Loki TV show,
Yeah.
which is pulled, like, literally straight from the comics. Like, those big dumb horns and the bright yellow and the bright green tights and shit, you know. That was kind of cool because you're like, okay, it makes sense. He's a variant or whatever.
Yeah. So the lizard theory applies to the end of the trailer, but there's a sequence where it's Sandman, Electro, and Lizard are all staring down Spider-Man, and he's swinging towards them.
Kind of on the Statue of Liberty thing.
But if you look, when Spider-Man is swinging, he's going to hit Sandman, and Lizard is jumping, but Lizard is not aiming at Spider-Man. He's lower than Spider-Man. So that makes me think, which, by the way, I'm glad they did this. That to me, it says they CG removed Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And I think...
Do you believe that both of them are in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
My cousin asked me that too, and I have to believe it too.
Absolutely. Because the way that looks, and you can't bring all these characters back and not acknowledge them and not give them a chance.
You look, if Garfield didn't want to be in it or whatever, like say that happens, they could do something where like his Spider-Man died. They could.
Yeah.
And just use like
There's also the theory
footage.
that Andrew Garfield's character gets introduced saving MJ from falling to redeem him fucking up with Gwen. But I don't know.
You know, I've dealt with a lot
honestly,
of magic words, and
honestly,
one of the magic words is please.
Honestly, that would be a really cool redemptive arc for that character, and it would actually be a really cool way of introducing him.
Nobody cares.
But at the same time,
Nobody
it's
cares.
like, just bring him into fight. Like, just make him fight.
Just
That's what we want to see.
the Spider-Man.
Yeah, just see the
No,
Spider-Man.
we need to see three of them in an alley pointing at each other.
Yeah, if that's not in the fucking movie, I'm out. I love that Spider-Verse did that with the Spider-Man 2099 part. No, you. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure Oscar Isaac's coming back for that because I'm pretty sure his character is one of the main characters in was it Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel. So I'm assuming he's going, because at the end of that movie he has a little device and he's like, I can jump dimension to dimension. So I'm wondering if that's how they do it. But anyway, I got way off track. But
what the fuck?
That No Way Home trailer looks fucking rad. I will say I do have one gripe with it. It was them making fun of Doc Ock's name. It's like, yes, it's a dumb name, but it just seems.
It kind of seems like fuck you, Stanley.
I know.
Honestly, he's the one who went for the alliteration with the names.
But this is what I was talking about with costumes. It's the same thing. We're past this. We're making jokes about the names. We have all accepted the names are fucking stupid. That's the whole point. Because Stan Lee, all he did was alliteration for every fucking...
it was easier for him to remember. Peter Parker, J.
Scott
Jonah Jameson.
Summers.
Yes. Matt Murdock.
Yeah. Fucking the one we just
Pepper Potts.
We just said it. Dr.
Happy Hogan.
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Dr. Doom. Otto
Octavius.
Sue Storm. Reed Richards.
You did notice how after Stan Lee stopped making characters for Spider-Man, they started to get, normal names like Eddie Brock, Cletus Kasdan. Like, they weren't alliteration. Matt Murdock.
Betty Brant was J. Jonah Jameson's secretary.
J. Jonah Jameson? Are you fucking joking? JJJ? Who? You know what? Let's break that down, Tyler. Who's in this fictional fucking world of New York City? Who is asinine enough to name their child J. Jonah when their name is already Jameson. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
You know what would be a better in canon thing? It'd be like Jameson, like J. Jonah Jameson rises to fame because he's a rich kid from the Jameson Empire, the Jameson Whiskey Empire.
Sure.
There you go, Marvel. I just made you a fucking J. Jonah Jameson.
Way to
TV
go!
show.
You made a fucking
coming to
promo
Disney,
tie-in.
coming to Disney Plus. JJJ. Just 3 J's.
No.
But no, I'm thankful for, in all seriousness, the things that I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we can go back to movie theaters, even though the Ghostbusters one had like I said, a rough start. It didn't damper my experience. Ghostbusters Afterlife is also a great movie to see in a theater because it adds like, it's kind of it's definitely a throwback to that first movie, and it's definitely a throwback to the idea of like a big bombastic adventure.
Yeah.
That's not superhero related because there's so many superhero movies, but
Right.
and I'm part of the problem. I watch that shit.
Yeah, fucking man.
But what are some quick fire things you're thankful for?
One thing, just a couple things that are coming out in the future. I saw a preview for something called Lucy and Desi. I think it's Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball, Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz.
Huh.
Fucking J.K. Simmons is Willard, the guy who played their neighbor, William Frawley.
Huh.
But it's one of those movies that like it's a biopic, and you can tell like they really put into it, and they're these actors put themselves into the roles. But I don't know if it's a subject matter that I'm interested enough to watch.
Did you see the trailer for the Hulu series Pam and Tommy?
Yes. Oh my God. Did I not post that on Facebook?
No, it looks great. It looks fucking Seth
great.
Rogen is the guy that steals the tape.
Did you see I, Tonya?
Yeah, I, Tanya's fucking great.
Fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like that movie is I can't even describe. You have to watch it.
I
want to
you know what else I want to watch? As long as we're going down this line, the Eyes of Tammy Faye. I think is what it's called. The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yeah, who's in that again?
Andrew Garfield's fucking Jim Baker.
Yes, and fucking
Jessica Chastain is Tammy Faye.
Yes. Oh, that looks really good.
I want to see that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as we're going down the line of shitty people, historical figures. Although no, Pam and Tommy, it seems to be like that's going to focus more.
That
on
looks
the,
good. You
the
know what?
shithead that stole the sex
by
tape.
the way, on Wednesday you can watch the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, which is great.
Yes.
And I believe today, I think you should be able to go to Hulu and watch Hit Monkey, which is that Hulu animated series. I think it came out yesterday or the 20th, whatever. Yeah.
Holy shit! Michael Showalter directed that movie.
Who?
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Oh shit.
The Wet Hot American Summer. I think this is the same guy, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
Anyway, yes, Andrew Garfield is Jim Baker in that movie.
Yeah.
I want to clarify, but I do want to see it too. There's so many good movies coming out about shitty people. Can't wait. Anyway, thanks for listening to this. You know who I'm really thankful for?
What?
Our listeners. Yeah.
I'm
thankful for you, Tyler.
I'm thankful for my friendship with Jake. Because it's
Cooper.
opened a lot of different doors for me that I didn't know were even closed.
And he's talking about butt stuff. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this very thankful episode of Off Panel Off Topic.
You know what I'm thankful for? Butt stuff.
Episode Deuce, number 22.
Dude, why are we Are we still going with the butt stuff? I mean, deuce, and.
I just like saying deuce, to be honest with you.
Hey, before you listen to this episode, why don't you crack open a cold one?
I thought you said crow deuce.
Butt crack.
You really want that to be your last word?
Butt crack, baby. Yes.
And that's it.